This episode of the Swirl Suite is sponsored by True Brand's host, Wine Freeze Cooling Cups. So, it is not winter yet. We have a long way to go. It's still pretty hot. You can still chill by the pool, at the park, at a concert with your Wine Freeze Cooling Cups. Let me tell you how it works. So, the host's proprietary cooling gel is precisely engineered to keep your beverages perfectly cold for hours. So this is what you do. If you're drinking white wine at the park, outside, wherever, you freeze your cooling cups for 2 hours in the freezer and they come out nice and cold and frosty, and you stick them in your cooler and then you pour your white wine in it. And it's going to keep your wine at a really nice cold temperature for a couple of hours. So if you're drinking red wine, you can chill your cooling cups in the refrigerator for 2 hours and you can still drink your reds at a proper cellar temperature. How amazing is that? These Host cooling cups are so cool. They come in colors. They have like a little rubber band around them. So not even the warmth from your hand is going to warm your glass. That's amazing. So you can find True Brand's Wine Freeze Cooling Cups pretty much everywhere. You can find them at Target. You can find them at Total Wine or Amazon. And you can order them from the True Brands website at truebrands.com. Cheers. Welcome to the Swirl Suite, everybody. Happy Wine Wednesday. It's me and Tanisha today. How are you, Tanisha?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. The weather has changed here in DC and it's starting to feel like fall already. So it's gorgeous here.
Okay, not here. It was 91 today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
So we have a special guest today. She is a Texan. Wait, do you consider yourself a Texan or are you from Chicago?
I definitely consider myself a Texan now. I am from Chicagoland originally, but
Hey,
I've been there since 2008.
Okay.
Tanisha is also from Chicago.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Southside. Oh, it slips out from time to time.
Like, I'm very specific when I meet people. I'm like, I'm from Chicagoland because I grew up in South Holland.
Okay. I know South Holland very well.
Yeah.
We're the Oaks.
You know, I don't want to intrude on the urban nights, the real urban nights.
Because I'm somebody that will call you out. I'm like, oh, okay, well, where about?
Right.
Harvey. And I'm like, nope.
So, Christa, we met at the My Taught You retreat.
Yes, ma'am.
And yeah, we did. We met at the retreat. I sat next to her at the opening dinner.
Yeah.
In the water. It was beautiful. You were so nice. So it was awesome to talk to you at dinner. And I thought you had great energy. Then I started following you on social media and I saw your business. So please introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do.
Okay. So I am a project manager. I'm a blurred. I'm a career woman, a wife. I like wine, love cocktails. And so I started my organization, Cubicles to Cocktails, back in 2018. I came up with the idea in 2017, actually. And essentially what I do, I help women, ambitious working women, to meet their career and life goals by crafting leadership conversations over cocktails. And through that, I think at this point, I've hosted 7 what I like to call soirees. So it's very much an experience, an intimate experience, a safe space for women, particularly focusing on the issues that women of color have while we're trying to meet our career goals, for us to get together and really help each other out and to connect with one another while enjoying libations and just kind of this more happy hour type vibe. So that's basically what I do. During the day, though, like I mentioned, I am a project manager. I'm actually working at academic healthcare environment right now for a medical school, one of the nation's top 10 medical schools, doing curriculum development based projects for them. So it's been a lot of fun actually being able to bring my professional background into what I'm doing as an entrepreneur, because like this podcast, I'm sure you guys plan out what objectives and things you want for your listeners to take away. So I'm able to do that with my organization, Cubicles to Cocktails, really to plan and know how to effectively deliver content.
What motivated you to start Cubicles to Cocktails?
I found myself not having access to conversations that I felt I needed to move forward in the workplace. Being a woman, and then especially being a Black woman, and I know people try to ask you, well, do you think it's because you're Black, or do you think it's because you're a woman that you're experiencing this? And I'm just like, you can't separate that, I can't separate out this is because of my Blackness and whatnot. But I know being a Black woman in a conservative professional setting in healthcare, which is a very male-dominated world. Though, nurses and providers like that or clinicians like that is female-dominated, but the people who have the power, those are particularly, white men. And so, just learning how to navigate those politics as a Black woman, I needed help. And where I found my help wasn't at the leadership development classes for HR. It was over cocktails and dinner or during lunch with a mocktail with my mentor or with my husband, with my closest friends. And it was during those conversations that we really would help each other navigate salary negotiations, help each other navigate the latest political landmine that's going on in the department, and things like that. And so I realized, Cubicles to Cocktails, it just makes sense. This is when the most transparent, happy hour is typically the time where the most transparent conversations come out amongst your friend group. And I just wanted to bring that type of vibe, that type of experience to a larger setting to really connect other women of color together so that we could grow with one another, connect with one another, level up with one another, etc. So that was the motivation, was just, wanting to have the conversations that I knew I needed and knowing that I'm not alone in this. So let's do it as a community.
That's awesome. Are there some topics that you touch on? Well, you've been doing this since last year, 2018 or 2017?
So I came up with the idea in 2017.
Okay.
I sat on it for a while.
Okay.
I want to say I claimed the domains and everything in August of 2017, and the first soiree that I hosted was February 2018.
Oh, okay, nice.
Mm-hmm. And the different types of topics that I have talked about or delivered some type of workshop content, because we not only do panel conversations. I don't even like to call it panel conversations. I typically call them open forums because it's very engaging. It's a lot of back and forth between attendees and what I like to call our business experts. Or we do workshops. And so since launching, we've hosted authentic leadership workshop that really focus on how to be a Black woman and how to really engage with your coworkers and your team members so that you could build trust, because a lot of times you may not have that much in common. And the research shows that Black women, we feel that we can't be ourselves. And we have this ideology of wanting to say that you're not gonna, you go to work and you don't connect because they're not your friends, they're your coworkers, but that's actually really harmful for your career. And so, and how it's harmful is because if you're not making those personable connections, your work is going to speak for itself to an extent, but once you start to make those personal connections, that's when people are going to really start to vouch for you behind closed doors. So that's how you're going to be able to move your career forward. So we had an authentic leadership workshop. We also had a conversation about purpose-filled careers. So how do you align your career to your purpose? And not even in the sense of that you have to do that, because you may not be 100% fulfilled with what you're doing as a working woman. But how, if you do want that to be your main time, how do you really do that? And another fun conversation that we had is Money Talks, which is actually something that I'm doing again this year. So Money Talks is all about empowering women financially, helping us to dismantle the taboo of discussing money. And also not only shedding that layer of discomfort, but also helping to move us forward as far as learning tools and knowledge so that we could better sell or negotiate, or in the case of business owners, financial negotiations. This year, we're focusing on building wealth. So we're learning about home ownership. We're learning about investing. We're learning about how to build sustainable and scalable businesses.
Those are some really important conversations to have.
Yeah, I'm like,
oh, seriously. I mean, because I'm going through something like professionally where, for lack of a better word, there's a lot of office politics, and I'm not on the right side. And, you know, where in my last position, the office politics, they leaned in my direction, but I'm experiencing the opposite of that where I am now. But anyway.
No, I totally relate to that. Like, you know, on a personal, like just to dive a little bit more into my backstory.
Christa, say that that last part
one of my previous
one more time.
Jobs. Oh, okay. Just to dive a little bit deeper into my backstory, as far as my career, in a previous environment that I was in, it was a very toxic workplace for me. I was never on the right side of politics, no matter how hard I tried. And it wasn't that, you know, I was actively messing up or anything. It's just that the environment was just that backwards. And so I found myself talking on my mentor often, really, once again, my girlfriends over cocktails or wine. We were not discriminate. You know, having conversations about what was going on and trying to figure out how can I best navigate this. I remember actually getting a small raise that was like very disappointing when I got promoted. And when I talked to my boss about it, she was just kind of like, well, you don't have to take the promotion. And it's just like, you know, like, why would you say that?
Wow.
Like, why would you say that to your hardworking employee? So anyway, so, you know, long story short, like by the time I left that place, it was just so much toxicity built up in me that I was having panic attacks in the office.
It's almost like she was saying, why do you deserve a bigger raise?
Right, girl. But the raise is like, it wasn't even covering inflation. But anyway, so I totally, like, you know, it's just something like a lot of women experience toxic workplaces, and it's just something that, you know, we got to work through. And it's like, you're not going to learn the politics from like your coworkers. You're going to have to like look outside of the workplace to best learn how to navigate it.
That's excellent. And you hold your events in different cities in Texas?
So this is actually the first time that I am branching outside of Houston.
Okay.
So my events have always been in Houston. Now I'm exploring inside of different Texas cities. So the Money Talks tour is actually, we just had our kickoff in Houston last Thursday, and we're gonna be doing it in Austin in mid-September, and then early October we're going to Dallas.
Nice.
So, you know, I'm getting my feet wet.
Okay.
Okay.
I definitely want to expand and do pop-ups and other large-scale events in other cities. But, you know, right now, like balancing this 9 to 5, and that, you know, people, events are very demanding. People don't really realize that.
Girl, they really are.
I slept all week.
I realized.
Absolutely. So if you had to pick another state to have your events in, what state would it be? Or city?
That's so hard. I'm like, do I have to like pick just one?
No, name off a few.
Okay, so like I would say like some cities that I would love to host one of the Cubicles to Cocktails soirees in is Los Angeles, Atlanta, DC, Chicago, New York. I'm like all these major cities.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I'm like just so. I used to live in DC. I lived in DC very briefly, I'm from Chicagoland. New York is just always on and popping, you know. Like
Sure.
I have so many connections in New York now,
Mhm.
especially since the retreat. I feel like everybody from the retreat is like LA, New York, or Atlanta.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know you can't rule out Atlanta. I love Atlanta. I
Yeah.
love visiting that city. And then my sister lives in Los Angeles, so that's like, you know, a
Ah,
foot soldier on the ground to help me. So yeah, so those are kind of like some of the cities that I've been eyeing that some people have actually been reaching out to me on like multiple occasions, like back to back. Girl, come on, I'm gonna help you. I'm out here. I'm like, okay, it's coming. Just be patient.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you go about choosing the cocktails for your different events? I've seen some of the photos and they're absolutely beautiful.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. So when I first started hosting these events, I actually was just picking it based off of, you know, thinking about the season, thinking about the mood board even, and like the color scheme. I just like really pretty looking drinks. And the garnish game has to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to have a beautiful garnish, like just some type of experience. I'm a glass snob too. So I pay attention to like what type of glassware we're gonna be sipping out of. And so yeah, it was a lot of like, you know, just my own desires and what I wanted to experiment with, some of my favorite flavor profiles. I remember the second event I hosted, I realized I made a very strong cocktail, but I wanted the women to like actually realize that gin-based drinks are delicious. And so we did my twist on the aviation cocktail, which is a classic gin cocktail, and people loved it.
What's in that? I don't think I've had that before.
So aviation is like maraschino cherry.
Mm-hmm.
You have some lemon juice. You have creme de violet, and then you have gin. And so I don't like maraschino, so we don't put any maraschino in it. Yeah, we didn't put any maraschino in it. So, but yeah, so that's an aviation cocktail. So we did that. But you know, now as I've been experiencing the growth, I'm often partnering with whether or not it's a boutique brand, a small batch craft brand, or even portfolio companies like Pernod Ricard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm partnering with them. And so how I select cocktails when I'm working with these larger or these established liquor or spirits companies is that we look at the season, we look at the mood for the event, but then I'm a little bit more restricted, but I've never been disappointed, but I'm a little bit more restricted based off of what spirits they may be pushing at the time and what cocktails they may be wanting to best reflect and represent their brand. Mm-hmm.
Tanisha, you're a gin snob.
Slightly, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have stepped my gin game up from back in the day when it started out with that good old Seagram's.
Oh God.
Oh man, Seagram's was like, woo.
Yeah, I mean, you in college, you don't know any better.
Right, exactly.
Available.
That was my experience with Seagram's too, girl. No judgment.
So Tanisha, do you have like a what's the best gin cocktail that you've ever had?
Well, I like a Southside. That's my cocktail. That's what really got me into like loving gin and really being a part of like really getting into gin was the Southside cocktail.
And for those who don't know, what is that?
Oh, so I'm like, yeah, that probably would help if you have the ingredients. It's mint, lime juice, and gin, and then with a little simple syrup.
Yeah, I had one for the first time this summer. It was very good.
Mm-hmm.
So, Christa, are you into wine at all?
I am. Yeah. I'm a self-declared wine enthusiast.
Okay.
And cocktail connoisseur.
Gotcha. I understand.
That's really how I describe myself. But no, I love wine. Actually, it's like so funny because we just have so much wine in the house.
Wow.
So much wine in the house.
That's a good problem to have.
Right. Until because see the thing for me, I drink a lot of different types of wine, and I know you know, and talking with you and Julie at the retreat, even, I was just mentioning how I want to become a little bit more intentional about really learning about what I'm sipping on. Because I fit right now, I just fit my wines to really fit my mood and sometimes my food, but it's really like based off of my mood. So for instance, if I'm outside, lately I've been gravitating towards a lot of rosés, like especially when it's like the rosé where it's like the Pinot Noir or Bordeaux blend rosé, things like that. Just really experimenting in that category. But if I'm like outside on a sunny day at the pool, it's rosé. If I'm outside with some slight cloud coverage and, you know, I'm just kind of relaxing and I want to feel refreshed, Sauvignon Blanc. If I'm at home and I'm getting cozy with a book, it's definitely a glass of like Bordeaux or Cabernet Sauvignon. So it's definitely like, for me, wine is just such like a energy exchange, if you will. So yeah, so it has to go with my mood for sure. So that's like why it's good that I have all these bottles, but then when I'm like in this particular mood, I would like pull out like all 20, 30 plus bottles and just not have what I want.
Yeah, it happens. Yes. Does your husband drink with you?
He does. He's more of a beer guy. Like, he definitely drinks wine and appreciates it too. We're going to Napa next week.
Oh, so nice.
I'm really looking forward to that. But I think he gravitates towards beer before he would gravitate towards wine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. So we're coming to the part of our show where we asked you random and not so rapid questions. So these are for both of you because these are all new. I haven't asked anybody these. So Tanisha, you're answering these too. Okay.
We'll see about that.
Okay. First question. You are a block away from your house and you realize you have no jewelry on. What do? Do you go back home? Do you buy some while you're out? Or you say, F it and just deal with it?
Oh, I'm going with it. We not having no jewelry. I'm not going back home. And you said a block away. I could be downstairs. Like, I'm not going back.
I go home. I go home.
Mm-hmm. And I came up with this question because it's literally happened to me, and I wasn't driving. I was 3 blocks away at the train station. I had no jewelry on. I was like, oh no. Oh, I bought some. Luckily, I was in the area where there was a Marshall's, and I bought some earrings and a bracelet. It was killing me.
Yes, it's like, it's painful. I feel so naked without
Exactly. Okay, name the last thing you had to hire someone to do for you.
My marketing campaign for Money Talks and my PR campaign for Money Talks.
I like it.
Last thing I hired somebody to do.
Yeah. You got something?
I don't have anything. What have I hired somebody to do? Carry my bags at the airport? I mean, is that a real hire?
I'm
sure.
Money.
I mean, I gave him a tip. Like, that's something like, it's not an official hire.
Okay.
But yeah, I really know. I won't say I'm self-sufficient, but I hold on to things rather tightly. So there hasn't been anything recently that I have let go of to let someone else do.
Okay. That makes sense. For me, it was fixing my damn washing machine. It sounds so small, but it's really annoying, huh?
I said all the YouTube videos.
Nah. Not for fixing a big appliance like that. Nah. Okay, next question. Last TV show you enjoyed?
Like on TV or like series, like maybe.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The last one not the last one you watched, but the last one you actually enjoyed.
I've enjoyed everything that I've watched recently.
What was the last show you watched, girl?
I watched La Chicas del Cabo. So Cable Girls. It's on Netflix.
It's about 4 women that started working for the telephone company
Oh,
in
I
like
heard about that.
1920s of Madrid. It's very good. I really
Is
like
it?
Yes.
Okay. I heard that was very good.
I have to check
Krista, what
it
about
out.
you?
Girl, well, Power just came back on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I enjoy that show, but it gets my blood pressure up. I say one that I just flat out enjoyed, and it just felt so leisurely, is the Black Lady Sketch Show.
Okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's like hilarious. It's just
Yeah.
like the most enjoyable fun on TV right now for me.
Yeah. I have to say the last show I enjoyed was The Boys on Amazon Prime.
Oh, that was
So,
good.
yeah, so it's pretty much a show about superheroes, but imagine if you treated a superhero almost like a reality star or like a politician where their image matters excuse me, matters the most. It was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Eye candy throughout.
Absolutely. Laz Alonso looks really nice. Okay, next
he
question.
said he buffed up for that. So.
He seems to get better with age.
Like wine.
I can't even.
Okay, name one product in your skin regime.
You want like the type of product or like the brand?
Both.
We talking about face care or like just body care?
Oh, face. Sorry,
okay.
I meant to specify that face.
For me, probably it's Embryolisse, and it's a moisturizer. It's a cream. It's a thicker. It doesn't feel thick, but like it has definitely kept my face, because I used to actually have dry skin to the point like it would itch.
Oh,
but I've been using that for a while, and it's good. I can't think of the name of my former face wash, so I can't shout that out. But,
okay.
Yeah, my face cream, because it's almost like cold cream as well. Like how your mom used to slather on cold cream at night.
Yeah.
And look youthful. It's kind of like that. So.
What about you, Krista? You got anything?
Yeah, I have to say, I recently got into cleansing makeup off my face using oil.
Really? Does that work?
It does. It's like it works really well. And so the Melanated Bar, they have a facial serum with rosehip seed oil in it, and so it's just wonderful. So I put that on to take off my makeup when I just feel like being really gentle around my eyes, instead of all the excessive rubbing.
Yeah.
And then I also use that at night. I love it.
Interesting.
And also, I'm just now realizing, and by now I mean within the past few months or so, that it's better for you, or you're really supposed to take your makeup off and then wash your face. I would just do that. Will all be one process. I would use the soap to wash my face, take my makeup off. That was one thing. Not, let me take my makeup off. Okay, now let me use the face cleanser or face wash and wash my face. No, I put them 2 steps together. Interesting.
I like it. I don't really have a skin regime. I sort of just of course I have really sensitive skin, so I have to use CeraVe, the really bland stuff. Looking for something. That's why I wanted to know what you guys use, but pretty cool. Okay. So in all major cities right now, there's either a bike share, a scooter share, or now in DC, we have mopeds. Which one would you rather get around on?
My God, my 2 feet. I can't. I cannot.
Do I have to pick? All those things are annoying. Go away.
Yeah.
I've also been hit while I was riding a bike before, so I don't get on bikes often anymore.
Are you serious? What kind of bike? Like a bicycle?
I was riding a bike in one of the shopping areas of Houston, and this car, thankfully it wasn't a full force, collision, but a car was just not paying attention and they were inching out onto the street. But since you're on a bike, it's anything that taps you like that, you're just gonna fall. So I just can't traumatize.
Oh man. Well, I'll go with moped. They're really quiet. They just put them on the street a few weeks ago. They look cool. They're not, they're not swamped with mopeds yet, but I try it out. But the scooters and the bikes are annoying because they just lay them anywhere.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. All right, last question. Do you have PMS cravings? If so, what do you crave the most?
I don't know if I have PMS craving.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
I know. That must be nice. I can tell you exactly.
I don't know if I have them, but I will say I crave sushi, red wine, and dark chocolate all the time.
Okay.
Like,
also
all
known
the
as
time,
Tuesday.
24/7.
So. Okay.
Nice.
Mine definitely chocolate, but chocolate with nuts. So like M&Ms with peanuts. And yeah, just chocolate. All sorts of chocolate. Any type of chocolate, like ice cream sandwich chocolate. Yeah, all chocolate for me. And salt. Well, no, I'm lying, because salty too. So I can have pretzels and chocolate.
Chocolate covered pretzels.
Pretzels. Perfect. Tanisha, what about you? Fried chicken?
Salty snacks.
Yeah.
So whether it's salty potato chips, salty popcorn, I like mine covered in butter and salt. Salty popcorn, bacon. I just like salty snacks. So,
gotcha.
Those are my weakness.
Awesome. Well, Christa, before we go, please tell everybody where they can follow you and Cubicles to Cocktails on social media.
Awesome. Well, they can follow me at Hey Christa Clark on Instagram. And then Cubicles to Cocktails, we are on Instagram and Facebook at Cubicles TO Cocktails.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. This is fun, ladies.
Absolutely. We're definitely going to tag you when the episode is up.
Okay, definitely. Love to spread the word.
Awesome. Have a good night.
Thanks for checking out the Swirl Suite today, guys. You can follow us wherever you find your podcasts, and we love comments. Please leave some comments on Apple Podcasts, and we love feedback. Please reach out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or our email address, swirlsuite@gmail.com. Cheers.